Hey now. John Bird, are you having one of those days today?
I'm having a hell of a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You came in squinting right off the top.
Yes, my glasses broke again. And I've been informed that if I don't pay extra on my water bill, because remember I had a water main break,
Yeah.
they were going to turn off my water. They were being real nice at first. Now they're just being asses. And so I had to take that money to pay on that. So I'm going to have to wait until the first part of February to get my glasses. So I won't be moved. This is the way I'm going to be walking and moving around.
Well,
No sudden movements with my head.
And by the way, Tony Gump, obviously
He
here.
saved my life.
Executive,
Tony, you saved my life again.
Executive producer extraordinaire. Tony super glued those glasses before he started.
Yes.
Are they holding up?
Yes, and I think they'll really hold up well. We've done it a couple of times.
3 times.
3 times. Yes, a couple of 3. And this time, I told him, I said, just slather it on the lens. You know, let's just not necessarily connect the frame. I want it all over the, just whatever is going to make it hold.
Yeah.
I'm getting some real kick-ass glasses.
Interesting.
For February. It's going to be a whole new game.
Yeah.
I just hope people recognize me.
Can you tell how many fingers I'm holding up?
Well, yeah, I'm wearing my glasses.
So you can't see right now.
Yeah. So actually, you had a total of 9 fingers up.
Did I?
Whoa.
4?
3, 7, and 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, those math skills.
And I forgot to take my medicine this morning, by the way.
I think that's what it was, is I can always tell when I come in by your demeanor, and we've talked about this, whether or not, and I'm not saying that I know it's because you didn't take your medicine, but I know something's out of routine, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so today it was the medicine.
Yeah, it was kind of tough. I tried to get up a little early because I didn't know how, the car was going to do. I let it heat up, and I was just running around, and I'm pulling into the parking lot there and realized, oh crap, I didn't take my medicine. Everything's going to be great. I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not like, I'm not going to jump off a building or anything like that. Nothing like that. It's just, I'm just kind of low key.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
It probably means we need to turn his microphone up a little bit. This is non-medicated John Bird voice.
I'm trying. I'm sorry. I can try and crank it up a little bit. Let's see. How about that? What do you think?
That's good. That's good.
Lock it in. There
Coming in hot.
Yeah.
Are we, I feel like, go back to John Bird. I feel like he's a little short. Pick your chair up some. You got any more height on that chair? No. Like pull the height of it up. Not the whole chair.
I thought it was a stupid request. Okay, that's the whole. Okay, I'm wide open. That's as high as I can go.
That's good. I think that's better, right?
Tony, what do you think?
I think it looks just fine.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that.
Okay, you look a lot better. You look more astute. Like I feel like you're up here with me. Like
yes, I'm not at the kids' table.
You're not at the kids' table any longer.
Yes, and see, I'm doing my hands like this. It makes me want to do my hands like this.
You do. Speaking of which, I think I look more professional when I'm holding a pen. Yeah.
Your pen, yes.
Another thing that has got me, I don't want to say stressed. I try to not talk about how stressed out I am anymore.
Right.
Even though it's just bound to happen. Monday, I have jury duty. Remember.
So you weren't able to get out of it?
I put in a request to get out of it, but they never emailed me back. They said the court was going to let me know if my request was approved. And it said, is there anything stopping you from doing jury duty? And I said, yes. And they said, please describe it. And I just put hey now in capital letters, and I hadn't heard anything back.
You can't just put hey now. A lot of people know you. But you can't play the "Do you know who I am" card.
Why?
Because I mean, they're like, "Hey, what does he like work with horses?" Hey, now.
And well, here's what I actually did. I put in that I'm a talk show host and my work really needs me to be there or something. I put in a legitimate excuse.
You did say political.
I think so. I think
conservative.
I said talk radio show host. I don't think I
hope
put
they don't
conservative.
think lifestyle. Oh, lifestyle's okay. You know.
What is lifestyle?
Well,
is it like swinging?
No.
Oh, that's the lifestyle. Okay.
No, it's like, you can talk about, we're going to be talking about great homes throughout the South, and we're going to be talking with Sally Mae, the interior decorator, for, like lifestyle kind of stuff.
Could y'all imagine if I did a show like that, how awful that would be? I mean, I could probably make it fun, I guess. But
I don't know. I mean, it would have to be more like, maybe like Crack Houses of the South.
Oh, we could turn that into a bed on the show in no time.
Yeah, it's kind of like Tool Time with Tim Allen, like Home Improvement to him.
Yeah.
You could have your own version that's kind of
Crack Houses of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Like Bad Hotties of Birmingham, Crack
Yes.
Houses of Birmingham.
I like that.
Which is where they shot Bad Hotties of Birmingham.
Hey, Crack House, that's right.
How about that? We just came up with a new bit. But yeah, so I reached out to a good friend of mine, Scott Beeson,
Yes.
former state senator, and I feel like former state senator is a bad moniker to have because you automatically think boring guy, but Scott Beeson's actually pretty good, and he likes to talk a lot. So you probably won't have to do anything Monday. But if I can get out of it, my last name starts with an M, so I'm like probably somewhere in the middle. If they can dismiss me early, I'm going to come back to the station and do the show because Beeson drives a school bus in the afternoons, and so he's got to get out of there. He really needs to get out of there before 2. But
Well, I think what they do is they address the dismissal requests first, and then they deny them all, and then you get back in line, and then you have to do it. That's what I think, the way they do it.
oh, so they're not going to review my deal until I get there? Like the thing that I sent them?
Probably not. Or they may have already turned it down, and you don't have a choice, and you will be.
But what happens if it's a
You got to act weird, act really drool, things like that.
I was gonna say
Constantly talk about entite, and the lectionary.
Oh, the Olin stay.
Yeah.
No, when they do the roll call, just go, hey now.
I know.
Well, no, then they'll probably think, oh, man, that'll be great for our image. Let's definitely have him on. And then you'll be like the head juror.
What if, when they ask me what my occupation is, I tell them I work for the Donald Trump campaign, and then they'll be like, we can't have this guy. He's too political. Because technically, I mean, because I love Trump, I'm an extension of the campaign. I'm just not paid or officially, designated.
But you got to realize there's something the court frowns upon, and it's lying. So you might want to think about that before you say that. I don't think they like that. So you might actually end up, instead of being in the jury, you might actually end up in the jail.
Oh,
so you don't want that.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Just say conservative talk radio host.
That's it. That's what I like. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we'll do. I just want to get out of it as soon as possible. I had always wanted to do jury duty. I always thought it'd be super cool, and now I'm like, I do not want to do it. I don't want to miss the show. There'll be some huge breaking news story that pops off Monday, and I'm not there to talk about it. It's gonna piss me off. I'm going to be angry.
Yeah, then you're going to be all ticked off, and you're going to be smart aleck, and then we find you in contempt of court, and it's just going to be a nightmare. You've got to get out, but you can't lie about what you do.
Okay.
I like what Tony said.
I'll
say what Tony said.
I'll be straight up with him. Hopefully that's enough to get me booted. Yesterday, we did the radio show live from here, which was the first time we've ever done that.
It sounded great.
We need to do that more often, I think. I thought it turned out amazing. I thought it went fantastic. We got a lot of, and it still had the radio show vibe. Like there wasn't, I always get worried when I do a show in a different element. Now, obviously we do this podcast here all the time. But the radio show has a different feel to it when I'm in a different environment. Even I would have felt the same way if I was doing it from home. It's hard to explain, but being in front of you makes it easier, and being able to wave and hand signals. And we got started, and I think we knocked it out of the park. I think we do.
Yeah, I was very pleased with it.
And you had the big Trump win the night before, so that helped a lot.
Yeah, energy was already there.
Yeah, the ice just gave us an excuse to do it.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys did great. I think you should do it all the time. And I'll make sure things run smooth.
You did a great job as well, by the way.
Oh, you mean that pink flamingo did a good job.
Well, you looked good.
Yeah, everybody was like, oh, that was so funny. And John wasn't really, but his flamingo was so funny. Okay.
They loved it. It was good.
It was pretty sharp.
It was me, Tony, you as a flamingo, and then Donald Trump over there. Donald J, always with us. So one thing we mentioned on yesterday's show was a conversation about figuring out the colors of candidates.
Yeah.
Because in today's day and age, we invest a lot in things like DEI and the color of someone's skin. You know, the old days of Martin Luther King and judging people by the content of their character, those days are over.
They're gone.
We are now judging people based on the color of their skin. And if anybody needs to be judged in a year like 2024, it's going to be political candidates.
Absolutely.
And so instead of listening to policy and what they're going to do for America, we want to know what their actual skin color is.
Yes, I actually have a program that you will upload an image. It will analyze it. And there are various places on the face that will give you different shades.
Mm-hmm.
So what I went in and did is like, for instance, with the first one, I did Trump's face.
Okay.
And then whatever the color shows up as, that is what the title is over the top. And we found some interesting ones. We did several different ones.
Okay. So let's check out Trump and see what Trump's official color is. His color is Screaming Bull Metal. What?
Believe it or not, that is the actual color, Screaming Bull Metal.
Screaming Bull Metal.
Yes, it's that shade right there near under his eye.
Wow. And that's out of the mugshot as well.
Yeah, I had to go with that one.
Screaming Bull. Let's make sure we're noting these.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Then I had another one. We were talking about Vivek, and we had talked about him being medium wood,
Which was good.
but I found out that there are two very strong colors. So you have, you actually have brown wood caramel sundae.
Oh.
So he's very strong, but he's sweet at the same time.
Wow.
He could make a great VP.
Brown wood, and so he's got two shades.
Yes, the brown wood is up there near the hairline, as you can see. And then right there by the cheeks, he's got the old caramel sundae going.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
It's very interesting. Next, of course, we had Nikki Haley.
Okay.
And
Nikki
I was
Haley.
really surprised. Really surprised by this one.
Okay. Oh, man.
Yeah, Warmonger Watermelon, which is actually the color of it. Now, I went around everywhere on the face, and they had different colors and things.
Right.
But when that came up, I was like, "That's it!"
Wow.
Warmonger Watermelon, which
Right.
is the lip.
Right on the
Yeah.
kisser. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe Warmonger Watermelon is just her shade of lipstick. Did you think about that?
No, I scraped it off.
Okay.
Off.
Okay. That's her actual lip color is
that
Warmonger
is.
Watermelon.
And then next we have Chris Christie's.
Oh, I can't wait for this
Yeah,
one.
this was very interesting. It's very complex. Krispy Kreme sprinkles
Oh, God.
is the color.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, and as you can see, he actually has little sprinkles on his face. I don't really know if that's a mutation or a genetic,
It's probably just acne.
Melanoma. Yeah, probably acne.
This is a fat man acne.
But he's got the Krispy Kreme sprinkles going there, and that showed up pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, I can spot it from here
Yeah.
with
and this one is an actual. I know I've been joking around, but this one is an actual color, and this is for Biden.
Wait.
Zen waddle.
That is the actual color.
That's the actual color for Biden.
I'm just gonna
Zen
fact check
waddle.
you real quick. Is Zen waddle a color? And yeah, looks like it is.
Yes.
How about that?
So
Oh
he's
my
Zen
gosh.
waddle, which I don't know. It just it just somehow fits him perfectly.
Zen waddle,
Yes.
which is actually how he gets around from place
Exactly.
to place. He does the Zen
Just a little
waddle.
Zen waddle. All right, and then next, of course, we had to go with his son Hunter. Magenta meth is his color, right there under the eyelids. You can see.
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, that red seems a little bright, but I'll take your word that that's straight from his face.
Yeah, it is. It is the shadowing
Yeah.
from it, but that's what the computer analyzed. So he is magenta meth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh
Whoa.
my
Now, of course,
gosh.
that's during the rough time he was having in his life.
Right.
He
Right.
probably would be a different color now. But then after that, we went with Obama, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to go with Obama. And this is this is a real deal color.
Oh my
False
God.
moral.
False.
That is actually a color.
No way.
That is actually a color. And that is a color right there by his ear.
This is he looks. I'm gonna be honest. He just looks a little more brown than normal, and maybe it's the gray hair that's really
I think
setting
that's
it off.
it. I think that's what's accentuating it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's.
But
it.
that is an actual color. False moral.
How about that? That's that's
Okay,
impressive.
Then we've got his lovely partner, Michelle.
Right.
And this is actually a color. Cockatrice brown.
I had nothing to do with this.
I no. That's a color. I'm lying you not. I'm not lying. This one is an actual color, cockatrice brown.
Of course, Michelle Obama would be the color that is associated with cock.
Well, I mean, cockatrice brown.
Cockatrice. Excuse me.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
my
pretty.
gosh.
That was pretty shocking to me. So both of them, both of that power couple, those are the actual colors on their face.
That's
very
fascinating.
important. Okay, now I've got. I decided to go with an arch enemy of the right, which is Rachel Maddow. And she's butchy beige. Yeah, not much to her, just kind of vanilla. And that butchy beige is like right under her lip there, as you can see.
Yeah.
Right
I
under.
see
don't know
that.
if it's a splotch or what that is. And then the final one, which I think says it all. This is last one's. We'll have that one.
Is this Hillary?
Yes, this is Hillary. Hag-ass gray. And I think that pretty much. And I'm not talking about haggis. I'm not talking about sheep intestines. That is hag-ass gray.
That is hag-ass gray.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
this
not
is
a color.
hag-ass gray is
Yeah,
definitely a
hag-ass
color.
gray.
I'm not going to question it anymore. That's phenomenal. And that computer
Wow.
program,
Yes.
I think it hit the nail on
It's
the
called
head.
Dole. But now there's several different kinds. But that one was more detailed. I mean, you could find, well, in her case, pretty much her whole face is hag-ass gray.
Right.
But other ones you could find different colors that would pop up as you went across.
Is anybody else getting Emperor vibes out of that picture, like some Star Wars?
She looks dead, actually. I mean, look how pale
man,
she
you're
is.
right.
I
You
didn't
know, like the Emperor. you know?
I did not realize that hag-ass gray was so pale. I figured it would be a little darker than that, but
Yeah, well, but I mean,
Like young Skywalker.
yeah, I mean, hag-ass gray. I mean, it makes sense. You wouldn't think of a hag as being well tanned.
no,
You wouldn't call
definitely not.
Trump wouldn't be, hag-ass gray.
Definitely not.
He's screaming bull
Metal.
metal, and that's real. I'm telling you, that's real. But yeah, the hag-ass gray. That pretty much says it all.
We may have to redo this on the radio show tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was
be
pretty
honest
good.
with you.
And we can pick other folks too.
That's
mean,
true.
We can do it to Hollywood. We can do all kinds of things. But it's just really neat because there are millions and millions and millions of color names.
Well, what's fascinating is the fact that everybody is different colors. Like they've got multiple. Like you want to talk about a person of color? That's somebody that's got more than one color. You got 3 or 4, maybe a little bit of sprinkles on your forehead. That's a person of color.
Yep.
Person of colors, should we say.
Many colors.
It's good this way, son.
Christopher,
You got a little comfortable and you started.
He likes to shift one way or another depending upon his medication
that
use.
Yeah, that's good. We may need to put a level on the floor and see if maybe the floor's just slanted a little bit and he just slowly rolls.
I do feel myself being pulled that way, and I'm having to always do this.
It's fine. It's fine. We just want to make sure you're on the up and. Thanks for doing all that work. You put a lot of effort. I know.
No, I need you to thank the Dole program.
Dole.
It did most of the work.
DOLE.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thanks, Dole. I appreciate you.
And I did check. It said it does not say that it's AI. You know how I feel about AI.
Mm-hmm.
So it did not say that it was AI. There were several of them that were like, ooh, AI, find your color, blah, blah. Didn't want to go with that. So I think this one was like a good old-fashioned color picker.
Yeah, you were on top of the AI stuff. It started to get it's starting to get pretty creepy, by the way. And I've never used any of the programs.
The funny thing is, if you've used programs, you probably have and don't even know it. They're sneaking the crap in there now.
Is there a way to go online and just test out an AI program so we know like kind of how it operates?
So you want AI to know where we are?
Well, I'm sure it already knows. Tony, Google for us AI Pro Image Maker or something, and we'll just take a picture of John Bird and we'll do an AI deal. Can we make like John Bird as Luke Skywalker or something like that?
Do it.
Here's an AI art generator. So do we put our own photo in there and it generates something?
Yeah. Like for instance, we could send something over there to Tony, and he could just grab it and upload it.
Yeah, send him a picture of yourself, and let's upload it to. Just email it to Tony.
Okay.
And we're going to upload a picture of John Bird to an AI generator and just see what it does.
I'll put it in there.
Oh God, this is right. We'll do this one. Okay, we'll do this one.
Yeah, just email it to him.
All right. Here it comes.
And so I'm gonna, while you're doing that, I'm gonna look up and see if
and away
man,
it goes.
they closed.
Heading your way.
They closed my kid's school again tomorrow.
What?
Well, he's a little further north than this, but
okay.
still.
Okay.
Best AI photo generator.
I just got the picture. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll be good.
Sorry.
Let's see.
Happy-go-lucky little fella.
GPT.
No, don't you dare.
What's wrong with that one?
It'll steal your soul is what it'll do.
I think that's what we probably need to do is ChatGPT because that's the one everybody uses, right?
It does everything for you. Before you know it, you're not even thinking for yourself.
Okay. Yeah, let's Google that one so we're not just going to a random go to.
Well, no, ChatGPT, that won't do image.
That's what it said.
You type in
Hold
stuff.
on, I've got
Unless
this
they've
one.
added
I
it.
think ready. Hold on.
Unless they've added it.
Where did I save that?
Go to download, see if it's up in the cut. No.
I know where it is.
There it is.
Okay. All right, it should go in here.
All right. Yeah, pull
What
it up.
size?
Pull it up on the Clips monitor.
All right.
And just do a standard. Do the 3-4.
3-4.
Yeah.
Whoops. There we go.
It's not letting us shoot. Just hit generate. See what it does.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Generating.
I've never tried any of this.
I haven't either.
How did that happen?
What?
You're an
When did I turn
anime
in?
female. Look at the talk. It's Talk 99.4 now in the background. And look at the Chinese writing on the third one.
Well, you turned me into it.
Look at your hand in the left one. It's all crumpled up.
Actually, I'm kind of cute.
Okay. All right. Scroll down. Let's see what other options. Oh, nothing else. Go to just Google Chat GPT.
Oh, I think
Let me try
you
a
could
different
select
one.
one of these.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see. Let's try.
Do something
How about
manly.
West Coast? Here we
Oh,
go.
gosh, okay.
3/4. Let's see what happens now.
All right, here we go. Come on, dude.
It's like rolling dice. Like, come on, baby.
Come on,
7-11.
Woo, yeah.
Oh, look
man,
at
The
that.
one to the right. That guy in the middle got some problems.
And you got some new glasses on the third one.
Yeah, man.
But
the
you've
one on the
also
right's good.
one on the left. You've got 10 fingers. So you have 10 fingers on the second one as well.
Wow. I guess I'm a mutant.
You're like,
Surfer.
wait, what's the movie? It's like, grab my strong hand. Was it a scary movie? All right, so now let's go to Chat GPT because I want to take a scenario and I want to take a picture of John Bird and say like, put John Bird at the White House.
Okay. I just want to see this last one. They had this old man real quick. So
Oh,
Chat GPT.
no.
I've never used
Oh,
Chat
God.
GPT either. I just want to see what this one looks like real quick.
No.
Here we go.
Oh, no, please.
Oh, that looks like you more than any of
It
them.
looks like the Unabomber on the first one. No, not really.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, the dude in the middle. What?
You're gonna who's the chick creeping in? What's it doing to the background?
What? I don't know.
Okay, Chat GPT, you said?
Yeah, GPT. Chat GPT.
GPT. Okay,
There
I've
it
never
is.
used this. Here we go. The
This
devil.
is-
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Oh, look, it's already still in our soul.
Why is it doing that?
It's hypnotizing us.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Back
at-
500 what? Okay, I'm gonna get out of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm about to have a seizure. Scroll down. Oh, maybe it's it's probably a deal where you got to do it on your phone, like you got to do an
Okay.
app or something.
All right, maybe I open an account or something. I ain't doing that. All right.
Yeah, just oh look, it was copying what we were saying.
Oh, was it?
I don't know. We'll
I
have
took
to
it off.
we'll have to do some more research to figure out how to do AI generated deal. Maybe we'll get people in the comments on this video telling us the best way to go because there's got to be one. Because I see all the time on social media, especially on these sports pages, they will generate say a football player from a certain team, and he's like stomping on the opposing team or something. And at first glance, they look like legitimate photos until you start looking at the details and like the logo of the team's warped or something like that, and you realize it was
AI.
AI.
Mm-hmm.
It says, what's the best AI generator? Canva, Midjourney.
Oh, Canva. Yeah, I've heard of Canva.
Yeah, but is Canva AI generators?
Everything they've now found a way to use everything as an AI generator.
Yeah.
It's everywhere, man.
I'm gonna work on that. Actually, I'm gonna spend my evening generating photos of you on AI,
Oh, great.
and I'll show you tomorrow on the show.
Oh boy.
I actually like to do that. I used to do that a lot, and I would make it my profile picture.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. The spaceman ground control to my age at home. Yeah.
So we were talking about POCs as they were, people of color. Which
Yes.
again, I hate that terminology, but the left uses it on a regular basis. And DEI, right? This was our point. We were trying to get involved with DEI by figuring out what everybody's skin color is. And people are more diverse than they even understand.
Exactly.
As you hear some of those colors, what was it? Full metal jacket or full orange jacket? What was Trump again?
Screaming
Bull metal.
Yeah.
Screaming bull metal. So, in the spirit of DEI, we talked about a story today on the show about pilots. Okay, and the airlines have laid out new DEI parameters about who they want to try to hire, that they're going to try to look for these people. And the list is amazing. It involves people with complete paralysis. It involves people with epilepsy.
Yep.
And a plethora of other things. Tony,
Dwarfism.
go scroll down on that and then pull us up on the clips monitor. Here's a list Hearing, including total deafness in both ears.
How are you going to fly if you're deaf?
Vision, so if you're blind, you can work for... And listen, maybe they're not talking about flying. Maybe they're talking about a blind stewardess.
Okay, but still, you...
It would still be tough to get people their peanuts.
Yeah.
Missing extremities, which could be tough. Because you accidentally get on that conveyor belt and you're taking a trip in the luggage compartment.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm just trying to think.
Partial paralysis. Complete
Now
paralysis.
that's just absolutely ridiculous.
With a side of epilepsy.
I mean, what?
Severe intellectual disability. Psychiatric disability.
Yeah, okay. I
Some
would
already
definitely
have
be
that.
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've got passengers that have the psychiatric disability, so maybe they feel like they can offset when that MFer's not real lady gets on the plane. They'll be like, oh, listen, we got a stewardess just as crazy as you. Y'all talk it out. And then dwarfism, which is my favorite.
But that, I mean, why did they just say dwarfism? Because dwarves are of smaller stature, but they have regular torsos.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, what's the
Yes.
detail on that?
I
Google the difference between dwarfs and midgets.
you can't say little people.
But say midgets. Type in midgets. Difference between dwarfs and midgets. I mean, we're just genuinely curious.
I
All right, so question. What is a midget? In some circles, a midget is the term used for a proportionate dwarf. However, the term has fallen into disfavor and is considered offensive by most people of short stature. Midget versus dwarf on Geeks for Geeks at the bottom.
All right.
Let's see what that says. A dwarf versus midget. A question that's been here for centuries. It's a topic that is often misunderstood and can lead to confusion or hurt feelings. Understanding the difference between these two terms can help promote respectful language and inclusivity for people with different body types. In this article, we will deep dive into the history of both these terms as well as the proper definitions. We will also look into their causes, treatments, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the difference.
There we go.
Dwarf is a person of short structure. A person with a short structure is caused due to a medical or genetic disorder. And a midget is a person suffering from proportional short structure didn't cause by a genetic. I feel like somebody's got a disorder that typed this out.
Yeah.
Like it's not making sense.
Yeah. So their frame is smaller, whereas dwarf's frame is not, except for the small legs.
So a midge, is it more appropriate to say midge than midget?
I guess that'd be a female midget.
A midge.
What up, my midge? So is a midget is kind of just compacted down
No,
proportionally.
no, yeah, but it's proportional. It's like, when you're working on like a picture program and you can drag it and it comes out evenly. Then you can click the little freeform button and you can make it go this way or that way or stretch like that. See, when you do that with a midget, you don't have freeform going. So in other words, let's say he's a big old guy. Look at that. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to drag it and pull it down and he'll come down proportionately to his size. A dwarf will not.
So if you try to upload a dwarf to a photo editor, it won't work.
No. It's like a dwarf would can be very strong and wrestlers and things like that. They have big torso. They have a normal sized torso and head.
You know what will solve this is if you go back, Tony, and go back to the Google page,
Okay.
and just go up to the top and click images.
Yeah.
That'll solve this right now. All right. Let's click them.
Picture of two of them, right? One's right there.
Where?
Right there.
Right here?
You're pointing at a screen.
Oh, wait,
he can't even
there's
see.
Yeah, I can't
Those
tell.
are wrestlers.
Keep scrolling down. Let's see here.
All right.
Was Mini-Me a midge or a dwarf?
He would be a midge. There's like protoplasm. There's just
I've got him saying midge now.
a particular term that they use. So there are different sizes of little people with different defects. Like he was a dwarf. Well, he was a dwarf.
Okay.
See?
So that guy,
Like Kramer's friend.
is there facial features that indicate the difference?
Yes, they can. Who's the guy that was in Game of Thrones that is now, he's just a big-time Hollywood actor.
I think his name's Henry. Actually, I just made that up. I don't know his name.
No. He was in Elf.
I don't
Peter
know.
Dinklage. There he is.
Dinklage.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're a little person, you don't want your last name to be
There's the
Dinklage.
size down there. You can see what size he is.
You think that's even his real name?
I think he probably went with it because surely you're not going to make that up.
Man, he's getting old.
Yeah. But he's a heck of an actor. But
So he's a dwarf?
yes. And so you can see right there the pictures of him. Look
Okay.
at that. See? I mean, he is very well known.
How about
And
that?
he has another thing is, not that I'm an expert, but he has a very deep baritone voice. Does a
Yeah.
lot of voiceovers and things. Whereas, let's say Mini-Me talk like this. Because Mini-Me, remember, proportionally he was smaller, so his voice box would be shrinking down as well.
Ah.
But Peter Dinklage was not. He was just kind of squished.
But his
but it didn't
voice
affect
box
it. Yeah.
stayed the same.
Yeah, and that would be where the genetic mutation comes in. You know what? Where is Dr. Bird with kidney stones? We need to bring him in.
Dr. Bird?
Yes.
Could you imagine being a little person with kidney stones?
Oh, man.
Wouldn't that be like 10 times worse than
Well, I mean, if you're a little person and you're proportional, then the kidney stones are going to be teeny tiny.
Well, here's the deal. I've had one experience with a little person, a up close experience, and it's a guy, and I've told this story a bunch of times. A guy that I called Mike the Midge, and I don't know if he was a midget or a dwarf, or suffered from dwarfism or midgetism.
Look, that's what it's called. But I know what
you know
mean.
what I'm saying. And just a quick recap, because some of y'all may not have heard it, but I was doing Uber.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got to pick up at the hospital, local hospital. I get over there, and I'm like, hey, Mike, is Mike here? And I hear somebody yell off in the distance. He's like, hey, that's me. And I look over, and it's Mike the Midge, and he's in a wheelchair. You know, he doesn't have use of his legs or whatever. So he rolls over there, and he's like, hey, you mind, grabbing my wheelchair and putting it in the truck? Of course, I do it all the time. And he kind of slides out of his seat into the back seat and put it up. We get on our way. We're not going very far, but we had a good conversation. And I'm taking him over to an apartment complex where his girlfriend is. He's going to get. He was very adamant about letting me know that he was going to get some bouquet.
Aha.
And I don't know anything about the girlfriend, if she was regular size or Mike size or whatever. So we get there, and the way the curb is set up, just to describe, so this is the road, and this is the curb, and it's like at an angle. So you pull up, but you can't get quite up against the curb.
Right. Okay.
And so I pull up, I get out, I get Mike's wheelchair out, I roll it around to his side of the car, and he's opened the door. He's got his little legs dangling off the edge of the seat, and he looks at the curb. And then he looks at the wheelchair because I can't get it all the way up to the car. And then he looks up at me. I'm assuming he's going to slide his little behind out of the chair, out of the back seat into the chair. He does it again. He looks at the curb, looks at the wheelchair, looks up at me, and he says, "You're going to have to do it." And I'm like, "I'm going to have to do what?" He said, "You're going to have to pick me up." And I said, "Oh, let's think about this for a minute." This is what I'm saying in my head. I'm just saying, I'm like, how can I get out of this situation? That's, when you're in a real awkward situation, the first thought is, how do I get out of this?
Yeah.
And so I remember thinking that, but then it quickly came to me that Mike's going to be with me all day until I pick him up and get him out of here. And it's only going to last a second. It's fine. So I say, okay, what do you want me to do? Like, where do I put my hands?
Yeah.
I'm like on the first date. Like, am I okay if I touch you here? And so he's like, just put your hands under my armpits and just pick me up and sit me in my chair.
Oh, that makes sense.
And so, for context, this is the back seat. I'm here on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
His wheelchair's directly behind me.
Okay.
There's a door. The door's open, and it's right here. So I grab him under his little armpits,
Mm-hmm.
and I start to pick him up. I could have gone left and made it a lot easier on myself, but I went right, which means I had to kind of clear the door. And as I do that, I've got him about halfway through this 180, and he's facing me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And Mike's pants drop to his ankles. And Mike's not wearing underwear. He's not wearing boxers, nothing.
Oh, my God.
And I am holding up a pantsless midget at noon on a Saturday in downtown Birmingham. This is a City Federal building downtown, and everything is showing. It felt like I stood there for 5 minutes frozen. It's probably like 2 seconds. And I quickly toss Mike into his chair, and he begins to quickly pull his pants up. He goes, forgot my belt today, and didn't say anything else. Just turned around and rolled right on into that apartment. And I stood there in shock for what felt like forever. And I know to this day that there are people that have that story of the time that they were driving through Birmingham and saw a dude holding up a naked midget like Simba from The Lion King in the middle of the day.
Well, but the way he was about it, it's not the first time it happened.
It can't. The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, yeah, did you do that on purpose? But the reason I'm bringing that up is because you were talking about proportion.
Yes.
And I don't know if proportion is in the eye of the beholder, but this guy, for the 2 seconds that I was faced with this man as he was pantsless, he looked as if he had an enormous schlong.
You looked.
I had to. It was right in my face.
Look in the eyes.
I could not. I did not know what was happening. And maybe it's a deal where it's just a little frame and a normal deal. I couldn't tell.
Was it like bulging through the underwear? Or
there was no underwear.
No, you saw it?
Yes, it was in my face. And so,
was he a groomer down there or anything?
Listen.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
There was not there. Okay, if y'all want details, there was no trimming. Okay, he just all natural.
Jungle.
But this could have been an average 6 or 7 incher. But it looked as if
off the road.
It looked as if it was 1.5 feet long. Because anytime you look at a person, no matter their height, and that thing's hanging down at the ankle, you're like, okay, that's a big one. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I really think that Trump's probably going to take it this year. 2024 is his year.
Wait, I got an idea. What if I tell that story on Monday at jury duty when they ask me what I do for a living? I was like, actually, I'm an Uber driver, and as a matter of fact, here's what happened to me last weekend.
You'll end up the head juror is what you will be.
I'll end up the judge.
Yeah.
They'll be like, we're giving you a job at this point, cuzzy.
Oh, gosh.
And they putting Mike the Midge on trial for assault.
Oh.
Assaulting my eyes. I've been trying. Listen, I still battle that today.
Do you really?
I have flashbacks of this baby arm holding an apple right in my face.
Wait a minute. Anxiety that you've been suffering? Could there be a connection? Could you be suffering trauma that you don't realize that you have?
I did not have that anxiety issue or that panic attack issue before that. It was well after it when it started.
It does take a while to manifest itself.
Could it be subconsciously that I am torn of whether or not maybe I'm stressed out about the fact that this guy seemed so blessed. And I'm like,
So it would be a kind of a subconscious jealousy.
yeah, a little bit of jealousy. Because again, when it's running down your leg like that, I didn't have time to think about proportion.
Are we still talking about the same thing?
Are we not talking about Mike without his pants?
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're talking about running
Yeah, I
down
think
the
we're
leg.
talking about the dwarf schlong.
Yeah, yes,
Oh,
that's what
okay.
we're talking about. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, could have been 3.5 for all I know. But it seemed...
Tony, you're supposed to help me get out of this. You're going full on
It
with
seemed like 10, okay?
it.
And so I have a...
It only takes one little glance.
Right.
And the picture is there.
And the picture is there, and the picture can take different forms over time. And so it's
Right.
probably as the months go along, it actually gets longer, to where the story turns into I pick him up, pants come down, I try to get him in his chair, but I actually trip over the thing, and then we both go down,
Okay.
and we're on the ground.
All
On
right.
the
Yeah, so,
pavement.
I mean, you've got some trauma you need to deal
Yeah,
with.
I think I do.
You really do. I think that will actually, and I'm afraid what we may have done, usually talking about these things help, but you've been doing so great with your anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that by us revisiting this traumatic event in your life, that it doesn't re-trigger the panic attacks.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, just know that you shared with a lot of people your trauma. You've been willing to be out there as it is and honest with it.
yeah, and I don't feel better about it right now. I actually feel worse, but maybe that'll change. later on.
Probably not. But I mean, if you could help just one person laugh, then you've done your job.
Or if I can help one person that has also encountered a midge schlong that seems
Maybe Mike.
maybe Mike.
You know what? We don't know. And I'm not casting aspersions or anything, but maybe that's something Mike likes to do.
Could be.
Unsuspecting Uber drivers. You know what? Let's take calls tomorrow. Uber drivers that have encountered Mike the Midget's giant meatloaf should call in.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, maybe he just likes to show it off.
I mean, I personally have never seen one, so that's why I was like, yeah, how big was it?
I mean, we could Google that too if you want.
No, that's all right.
No. Well, Tony, I mean, you've seen one. You've got one. So you've actually seen one, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about a midget,
Oh.
okay?
I'm sorry. I took that completely. I was like,
But could
Wow.
you? What if you took your own? Because we all know what our own looks like, and you could imagine it on a small body. That's got to be a confidence booster. Like if you could just Photoshop yourself, just and say, "Here you go, little buddy."
Like in Game of Thrones or something?
yeah. Take the guy we were looking at, and just Photoshop your deal on there, and you're like, "Wow, I'm really blessed."
but you know, the only thing I would be worried about is the constant falling forward of the little fella.
yeah.
He couldn't stand up.
Well, yeah, he can.
Yeah.
He's got a tripod, so he just
Well,
kind of
yeah,
stops
yeah, I
himself.
guess so.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
just
guess
kick that third leg out there, and you're good.
To pee or not to pee. Yeah, you're right. I don't think they talk like that on Game of Thrones.
So, next question is, what are we going to put as the cover photo for this podcast?
Gosh.
Could we?
We need to generate an AI for John.
I think what we're going to do with the cover photo is we're just going to put an eggplant emoji, and because the topic of this podcast was supposed to be DEI, and we're talking about midget wieners.
How does it happen? I don't know.
I don't know either. It's just
Or I guess instead of midget wieners, it could be cocktail wieners. Because they are small. And they're delicious, too.
or midget cocktails.
Or what was it? Red watermelon warmonger?
Warmonger.
Watermelon.
Yeah. Or egotistical eggplant.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ooh, egotistical eggplant. I like that.
Yeah, I think I could start naming colors. Yeah, we'll figure that out on the backside. But, again, with the Mike the Midge story, I've told it 100 times, and I hadn't told it in a while, so I needed to get that out. Maybe we just need to dedicate one of these episodes to Uber stories, or I don't want to make it all about me, but just embarrassing stories for, any of us.
Most of my life has been an embarrassment. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've got plenty of stories.
That's true.
Plenty.
Maybe
celebrity encounters or something.
Tony's like, I met celebrities, but I haven't done
I've got
anything
a lot of those
embarrassing."
actually. Yeah.
What is something? Do you have something that you could just like tease? Something that's super embarrassing that's happened to you? He already knows, and he don't want to tell it, and he's giving me that look like, "Don't do this," but
he's already had everything happen to him on air. He dropped his phone in the toilet and grabbed it out during a
That was
break.
a worry stone. That's what that was.
Oh, that's right, Worry Stone.
Yeah.
When I was 17, I really had a thing for this young lady,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just slowly working my magic.
Hold on, let me. I just need to relax for this one. Go ahead.
And I was in the marching band, and I was the drum major. I kind of got to dress up like a superhero. So all the chicks, all the clarinet players and flute players, I wanted to get with the drum major, right? So I was working my magic on one of them, one I had really, really liked. The drum line hated me. They did not like me. So one of the bass drum players, while I was talking to this young lady, after class, with everybody in the band there, he sneaks up behind me and he depantses me in front of everyone in the band. So, I'm glad I'm a smart thinker.
Apparently you weren't.
Come on, Bird. Come on. Finish the story.
Our band director's office was like right off to my right. So my mind was just thinking, run, boy, run, run. So I turned to run, but I was de-pantsed, or my pants were down at my ankles, or at least they were shorts. So I get right to the band director's office, and he's like, what the hell's going on out there? And I fall right in front. So now my buttocks are where you could view them. So then I pull my pants up, ugly crying. I'm 17 years old, ugly crying while everybody in the band is laughing. And so then the next day we have band practice, and I'm going out there to like lead them and all that. It was.
Oh.
It was.
And they all could picture you pantsless.
Yeah.
Mm.
A lot of jealousy went on that day. No, it was humiliating, and the flute player and I,
Yeah.
it was. Oh my God!
Was the flute player a midget or anything?
No, she was very pretty.
Well, being
There's pretty midgets.
a fan of the flute, you'd be like, "Hey, baby, you sold my skin flute. Let's
Oh man!
let's play a little ditty."
Oh man!
Yeah, she got to see the bass line right away.
Yeah, she did.
I forgot. I've lived a humiliating life. I really have.
Oh, and I bet you got 100 of those stories.
Yeah, I'll tell you, humiliation in baseball. When I was young, there was this kid. We had a physical, and during the physical, he popped a willy right when we were in line with this male doctor, and his new nickname was Boner for like 3 years.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah, it got even so bad. Even the gym teacher I remember in high school called him Boner. Like that was his new name. He finally had to go with it, but it was when it happened, it was really funny.
Man, that's bad when a teacher gets invited.
Yeah,
that reminds me
yeah.
of the Seinfeld episode "Can't Stand You."
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was like, "Come on, guys!" He was like, "I couldn't help it," It was really bad.
Yeah, that's
You
bad.
couldn't help it.
Even the guy that checked his hernia was kind of smirking.
You gotta be careful. There was a kid. Maybe I shouldn't tell this, and I don't know this to be 100% true, but I remember a story of a kid getting harassed by other kids with a coat hanger, like an undone wire coat hanger, and popped one of the testes.
That's brutal.
There was one time, and nobody saw this. I'm not gonna tell it.
But don't do it.
We all got lots of stories.
You always do that, but
yeah, I'll
I'll
tell that story. But it didn't result. It didn't result in any injury, but I thought it was going to because it was extremely painful.
You're going to tell it. I know.
Well, it's got to do with a private part. And by the way, I learned they're very durable. if an injury is almost to occur, it finds its way out of those situations.
Oh. Go ahead. You know you want to tell it.
I'm not going to tell it.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're a big chicken if you don't.
It's okay. So it's not that big a deal because nothing happened.
Oh,
but
okay. All right.
like there was no real injury or anything. But I worked at a manufacturing plant.
Oh boy.
And we were making parts for different mechanisms, right?
Oh.
And so I'm making these metal bars. They're like square and hollow, and you got to drill the holes in them, and you stack them up on this kind of pallet thing.
Yeah.
And you're stacking them up kind of high, like waist high or whatever, and you put them one by one, and it's it's a big square. And I just happened to lean in too far as I'm stacking one of those metal bars, and I dropped it down, and it just kind of nipped me right there on the tip. And I said, "This is it. This is where I don't think I had my kid at that point. I said, "Man, I'm not going to have any kids now." I just chopped because the pain was so severe. You're like, "Oh, it just chopped the whole thing off."
Ah.
But it kind of just pinched it, and it turned out to be okay. But the 30 seconds that it took me to get to the bathroom to see if I had lost it was the most agonizing part about it, because I just assumed like I just lost my wiener.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, your pants would have probably been bloody.
Yeah,
Had you
probably.
actually, gross. That's a medical term.
Bloody is a medical
Yes,
term.
it
Gotcha.
is. And if you're Englishman, you're cursing. That's bloody awesome. Wait, no, that was Australia. I can't do it. No, go ahead.
No, that's it. I don't have any more stories. We'll say it. We'll do, the next podcast. We'll just do embarrassing stories, unless we got some big breaking news we need to talk about. But we've been super serious over the past few days.
Yeah.
And so I needed to back it up a little bit. So there we go. Tony Gump, any final words before we get out of here?
No, just stay safe. Weather should be fine tomorrow, so we're good to go, man.
And don't get your wiener caught in a machine. John
Yeah,
Bird.
No wieners and machines.
We're all the color of love.
That was good. I actually like that. That was very good. All right. Well, we'll get out of here. Brand new podcast coming up. Make sure you like, you comment,
Yes.
and make your people subscribe. Until next time, see you guys.